I mean, it got real quiet at the end, and for me, I wanted to hear those FU chants again.
What NBA players really think of Trae Young? Atlanta Hawks' point guard Trae Young has been a household name among his basketball fans since his college days at Oklahoma. He spent his one-and-done year of college playing for his hometown Sooners. And as a local hero and a five-star recruit, he got plenty of media coverage. Young was perhaps the most electrifying offensive player in the nation during the 2017-18 season, raining off-the-dribble threes and threading ridiculous dimes on a nightly basis. Young was doing all of this at the same time that Golden State Warriors point guard Stephen Curry was leading the three-point revolution. He was drafted by the Dallas Mavericks in the 2018 NBA Draft with the 5th pick, but was later traded to the Atlanta Hawks along with a future first-round pick for the draft rights to Luka Doncic. Then he would join Doncic in a unanimous selection for the 2019 NBA All-Rookie First Team. So in today's video, we'll be taking a look at what NBA players really think of Trae Young. As always, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and ring that notification bell for more videos. Let's go! LeBron James. When LeBron James was giving a pre-game interview, a reporter asked him about Trae Young, who was still playing in college at that time. LeBron said, "I've seen Trae Young play before you saw him play. So I've seen Trae Young play ball since he's in 8th grade, you know? He's been a part of my camp for the last few years before he went off to Oklahoma. So I know what he's all about. And what he's doing right now is very special. He's a very special player that can add a lot to any team, if he decides to come out and come into the draft."
It takes a special locker room to be able to do that.
Steve Nash. One of Trae Young's summer vacations included spending time with his basketball idol, two-time NBA MVP Steve Nash. Nash had some words of wisdom for the young talent and said that he sees a lot of himself in Young and believes he has great potential. Nash said, "We're as similar as players from different eras can be. He has wonderful vision and passing ability, but he is also a great scorer and shooter. He's growing up in an era where point guards have more of the liberty to attack first. If he had grown up in my era, he might have been a pass-first point guard because he has an incredible eye for it. We're similar in our skill set. We both shoot. We both like to score from all 3 levels. Deep, mid-range, floaters that finish at the rim. We're creative around the rim because we're not as explosive as some of our contemporaries. I find it remarkable that a young player like that can come into the league, be the face of a franchise, and adapt so quickly," Nash said. "To me, it's remarkable. Especially a player that is not going to outrun and outjump you. That's the early marker. He has a high ceiling. He can be an all-star and lead guard that can take them to the playoffs and win them playoff series."
Back to when I was a young player, and there's no way I knew the things and could do the things that they can do at this age. So,
Kobe Bryant. Just one day before Kobe Bryant's tragic death and his daughter Gianna, Kobe FaceTime called Atlanta Hawks player Trae Young. Commenting on that phone call, Trae Young said, "One of the last conversations we had, man, he was just telling me how he's seen my game progress. He was just happy for me. He was saying how proud he was of me and how he wants to continue seeing me be a role model for kids growing up. And just for Geeky and all of the kids looking up to me. And continue to inspire these kids and continue to play my heart out. That was one of the last things he said to me." According to the outlet, Young was 13-year-old Gianna's favorite player in the NBA. In fact, Gianna began training with Alex Basil, who was Young's trainer during the offseason, as well as with her famous father.
In honor of his dearly departed friend, Kobe Bryant, he will start the game wearing uniform number 8.
Chris Paul. The relationship between Young and Paul has grown so strong over the years that the Hawks rookie point guard still turns to the Suns superstar for advice. In high school, he would text and call Paul for tips on how he should handle his recruitment. During his year at Oklahoma, he would ask Paul how he should handle the overwhelming fame brought his way, and the constant dissection of every play by fans and media around the country. Now that Young is in the NBA, it's Paul who has told him that the fandom he held for Paul, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and Russell Westbrook had to stop. "It's fine to recognize and respect their games, but it shouldn't go further than that," Paul told him. While Chris Paul played for the Rockets, Houston head coach Mike D'Antoni went up to Paul and said, "Man, he can play." Paul laughed and said, "Yeah, I already knew that." Young has been to several of Paul's camps through the years, and the Houston guard knew Young was going to be a problem when he got to the league. "I knew that right away because he's ultra competitive," Paul said. "He's fun to watch because he's so skilled. I think that's what people may miss when watching him. He handles, man. He can come off a ball screen and he can stop and whip it to the other side of the court with his left hand. It ain't maybe 4 or 5 guys in the entire NBA that can do that. And he does it efficiently. He's only going to get better and better.
He's one of the most skilled basketball players you'll ever see.
Steph Curry. Trae Young has been taking a page out of Steph Curry's playstyle. There was a lot of talk regarding these two and their playstyle. Young said as much during an appearance on Shaquille O'Neal's podcast, when pushed by the big man to predict how long it would take for Young to become a better shooter than Curry. The Curry comparison started for Young before he even entered the league as the number 5 overall pick for the 2018 draft. When Steph was asked by a reporter about the comparison between them, Steph laughed and said, "He's unbelievable, just the confidence that he plays with. I call it the flair, but he's just used. Always seems like he's always composed, and knows what he's trying to do every time he has the ball in his hand. It does, he shoots so many threes, and how does a creativity to his game is just so fluid to watch the comparisons over they are. I know when you turn on the game, you watched him play just watching him do the floor, where he is at all times. That kind of magnetism is pretty special in the college game, so you expect that to continue."
Again, he's his own player.
Russell Westbrook. While playing for Oklahoma, Westbrook said in a post-game interview, "He's done an amazing job, man. He's put the work in and he's putting himself in a position to lead a team. And he's leading the country in scoring and assists. It's amazing to see him do such great things." The New York Knicks showed Trae Young some love in Game 1 by serenading him with boos. But instead of getting rattled in his NBA playoffs debut against a raucous, unwelcoming crowd, Young did the exact opposite. He played with his heart out and turned in one of the finest performances this season, punctuated by the game-winning layup to beat the Knicks in Game 1 of their first-round series. And a lot of players showed respect to the young player. Draymond Green. Handling a whole crowd shout F you at you while the game is on the line is not something every player could handle. Take it from Draymond Green. He is one of the most hated players by fans around the league. However, he never let the fans get under his skin. Green is mighty impressed by how Young has been handling the same at his young age. Draymond is glad the rest of the league now gets to see what he knew for quite some time. Draymond shared his thoughts on Twitter regarding Trae Young and Knicks fans. "Brings me great joy that the world can now see Trae is one of the biggest shit talkers in the league."
Reggie Jackson was 6 for 12 from 3. Now, and to Reggie Jackson's credit, he knocked his shots down.
Kendrick Perkins. Recently, Kendrick Perkins has praised Trae Young for his performances. He also shared on Twitter, "It's time to put some damn respect on Trae Young's name. This man has made the Atlanta Hawks relevant again, and he's must-see TV. I mean, damn, he's only averaging 25 points and 9.5 assists? By the way, he has his team sitting at the number 4 spot in the East. God bless America." The Atlanta Hawks look like they have a future superstar in their hands. And Trae Young's style of play dazzles the crowd. His numbers are also amazing for a third-year player. And he was definitely a snub for the All-Star game. While the Atlanta Hawks were inconsistent at the start of the season, it seems that they have found their groove after Nate McMillan's hiring. The Atlanta Hawks will need Trae Young firing on all cylinders for the rest of the season if they want to continue to stay in a playoff position. And so far, he's doing amazing. And that's all, folks. We hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and ring that notification bell for more interesting videos like this one. Till next time.